Maroon Golf.
Hey everyone, it's Nate Wolf here with Maroon Golf to tell you guys how to have a very productive driving range session. So the first thing you're going to want to do is not go for the driver, but begin with a short iron. I've got myself an 8 iron here, but a 7 or a 9 would be fine. And really what you're aiming to do with those first 8 to 10 swings is just loosen up your body. Focus on rhythm and contact and just get into the flow of hitting the golf ball a few times. Once you've loosened up, that's when I would work my way up the bag, and the next thing I would grab is either a mid or a long iron. I went for the 5 iron here. I typically go from my 8 to my 5 and then work my way up from there. And now you're going to start making longer swings with a longer club, really loosening up. At this point, after about 10 to 15 swings, you'll be pretty loose at this point and really starting to focus on some of the details of your swing as opposed to just moving your body around and getting loose. But on each of these clubs working up, I would say about 6 to 10 swings with each is more than enough. At that point, once you've worked through those, you're going to want to go up to either a fairway wood or a hybrid. I grab my 3 wood here, and I'm working myself up the bag to prepare for hitting driver before I finish the rest of my range session afterwards. Now, I'm hitting 3 wood off of a mat. It's not an easy club to hit. One thing you should remember is that bad swings are going to happen during a driving range session. No one hits 75 balls perfectly. In fact, here, this thing is off the reservation.
You seem to be a tad askew.
Yes, thank you very much, Maroon Golf. I appreciate that. But practice is the whole point of this thing. That's the reason that we're out at the driving range. So if you have a bad swing or if you have a couple in a row, take a breath, back up, and head back to the mat going through your routine again. There's no reason to ever get disappointed if you have a bad swing at the driving range. Now that we've hit those other 3 clubs, we're going to work our way up to the driver. I'm only taking about 6 to 10 swings with driver, honestly. I see some guys beating 20, 30, 40 balls in a row with driver, and to me it just doesn't make a lot of sense. You don't do that on the golf course. You maybe hit 14 drivers total during a round. So there's no reason to hit that many balls, in my opinion, at the driving range. But one thing that is nice is try to end on a good swing or one that had a good result. The reason being, you can visualize that shot when you finish your range session and you're kind of thinking about the shots you hit. You'll visualize that good driver longer if you end on a good one, and you'll have a little bit more confidence. So I like to do that myself. Once I've hit those drivers, I'm working my way back down to a mid iron here. I'll take a few more swings to get the rhythm, but then I'm going to start to mix things up. And this is where I think a lot of golfers miss opportunity, is that they just go full swing after full swing after full swing. Not here. What I tried to do, I think I worked down to a 6 iron here. And what I started to work on was just a 100-yard pitch shot, just trying to hit something low, flighted under the wind. It was pretty breezy on the day that I recorded this. And I wanted to keep that ball under the wind, and I wanted to see if I could control some distance. Now, as luck would have it, because I practiced this shot, I found myself in this position 3 different times in my most recent match where I had to keep the ball under some trees, hit it about 80 to 100 yards. And because I practiced with this shot and built some comfort with it, I actually managed to have some pretty good results in that match, which I ended up winning and moved on to the next round in our tournament. So, I think it's really important that we work on the things we're not so comfortable with. That's the whole point of a driving range session. It's not to go out there and impress everyone else up and down the range. So take that time to build some comfort. Once you've done that, now we're going to work back down to a short iron again. And really here, we should be throughout the whole session, you should be worried about target practice. But in that first time when you're loosening up and getting comfortable with contact, I can understand if you're just going to take full swings and not really care as much where it goes. At this point, you should be really focused in on your rhythm and on target shooting. You should be dialing in and seeing how well you can put that ball on the line you want and hit targets on the range. Pick out yardage markers, pitch out greens, whatever you have to focus on, but you need to start to dial in with these short irons. As a low handicap or as a 5 handicap, you're only going to hit 7 greens around on average. So you're going to be chipping and putting or chipping from off the green a lot more often. You really want to spend a bulk of your range bucket on short irons and wedges. And as you can see, after we've done the short iron, we're going to wedges here. We're trying some 50% shots. We're going to work our way up to maybe some 75 or 80% shots just to see if we can control distance, really get comfortable with what our takeaway needs to be to control that distance as well. That is where I would say 50% of the balls that you hit at a range should be spent with a wedge, trying to dial in different distances and different flights, and just getting very, very confident with at least one of your wedges that you feel like when you go on the course, you can pull this club out and put it on the green from a variety of distances within 100 yards. Doesn't mean you have to be, hitting darts from those distances, but the more you can put it on the green, the better it's going to help your score. And once you've hit a few of those kind of 50% to 80% swings, now work your way down to the 30 to 40 yard shot, that dreaded half wedge that we've got to hit, that none of us really feel comfortable with. This is the place to build comfort. Swing it 20, 30 times in a row and really just get confident with that motion, what the takeaway needs to be, the length of your backswing, and the speed with which you have to hit the ball. All of those things are so important, building it with lots and lots of reps at the driving range. By now, you've worked through most of your bucket. You probably only have 10 or so balls left if you've gone through this routine like I have. And then I'm going to club back up to a mid iron to try to recapture that same rhythm that I was hitting with the wedge with these mid irons. I go back up to a 7 here. It's a club I'm pretty comfortable with, and I just want to have some really nice rhythmic swings to end this session. And as I did here, I think I had about 6 swings left with the 7 iron. Felt really good about it after I left. Ended up winning my match later this week. I hope this helped you guys. If you liked this video, hit the like button. Give us a subscribe. We'd love to hear your comments on the video, what you liked, what you disagree with. Hit them good out there, guys.
See you around, Maroon Golf.